In a time when society's values are changing fast, people are worried that young people don't respect others as much. It's easy to say that young people don't care about old traditions, rules, or being polite. But instead of blaming them, maybe we should think about the lessons from Stoicism. This old way of thinking has wise ideas that can help us understand and respect each other, even when there are big differences between generations. Lesson 1. Lead by example. When it comes to teaching respect to the next generation, the Stoic philosophy highlights how important our behavior is. To get respect, we first need to show the good qualities we want to see in others. This is a call to action, reminding us that what we do leaves a strong impression, much more than just words. In Stoic thinking, trying to be good is very important. Being good, according to Stoicism, means showing the best moral qualities: wisdom, bravery, fairness, and self-control. To lead by example, we need to work on these qualities every day, becoming a source of inspiration for the next generation. The Stoic thinker Epictetus talked about the importance of taking responsibility for ourselves. He said, "We can't choose what happens to us, but we can always choose how we react." This idea is at the heart of leading by example. No matter what pressures we face or how different the generations are, we can choose to behave well and set a good example for others. Think about being brave, a quality valued by the Stoics. This means having the guts to do what's right, even when it's tough. By showing this kind of bravery, we can teach the next generation to face problems with strength and honesty. As Seneca once said, "We don't have a short life, but we waste a lot of it." Being wise is another quality the Stoics value. It helps us make good decisions. It means understanding what we can and can't control, focusing on what we can, and making smart choices. By being wise, we show the next generation how to handle life's challenges and learn from what happens. Fairness is also important to the Stoics. We should stand up for fairness in our communities, workplaces, and homes. By fighting against unfairness, we teach the next generation that respect means treating everyone fairly, no matter their age, background, or beliefs. Self-control is the fourth Stoic quality. It means showing restraint when things get tough, avoiding going overboard, and living a balanced life. By showing self-control, we teach the next generation that respect comes from a balanced and disciplined approach to life. As we deal with the challenges of different generations, let's remember that actions speak louder than words. The Stoics encourage us to live by example, inspiring the next generation to do the same. In the big picture of respect, our actions tell a story that goes beyond age and time, leaving a lasting impression of good character. Lesson 2. Practice active listening. Stoicism teaches us the importance of really listening to others. The Stoics believed that we learn not just by talking, but also by listening to what others have to say. Listening carefully helps us understand others better, respect them more, and get along with people of all ages. A famous Stoic philosopher once said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak." This wise saying reminds us that it's important to really listen to others. By paying full attention and trying to understand the experiences and views of the next generation, we can understand each other better. Listening is more than just hearing words. It means trying to understand the feelings, reasons, and messages behind the words. Stoicism teaches us to be rational and empathetic, to put aside our biases and judgments. This helps us understand the thoughts and feelings of the people we talk to. Stoicism teaches us to not rush to judgment and to listen with an open mind. By putting our own ideas on hold and really focusing on the conversation, we create a respectful environment. This is really helpful for the next generation, who are often dealing with a complicated world and unique problems. The Stoic idea of sympathia, or understanding that we're all connected, helps guide us when we're listening. By realizing that we're all human and share experiences, we can better understand the next generation's point of view. This understanding is the foundation for building respect. Listening actively also means rephrasing and clarifying to make sure we really understand what's being said. The Stoic value of wisdom tells us that true understanding comes from careful thinking and judgment. By listening in this reflective way, we show respect for the next generation's thoughts and help them develop their own thinking skills. Lesson 3. Be inclusive. By building positive and helpful relationships with the younger generation, we actively help them be happy and grow. In this way, we show the Stoic belief that real happiness comes from having good relationships with others. Lesson 6. Communicate with respect. In the complex task of teaching respect to the younger generation, Stoicism shows us how important communication is for understanding and connecting with others. The Stoic way of thinking, which focuses on speaking correctly and expressing thoughts carefully, teaches us to communicate with respect, knowing that words have a big impact on how we see relationships and how others see us. The Stoic quality of wisdom, which is about being rational and making good judgments, guides us in how we communicate. Epictetus, a Stoic thinker, said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so we can listen more than we talk." This old saying tells us to balance talking and listening when we communicate, making sure our words are careful, thoughtful, and show the respect we want to teach. Talking with respect means picking our words thoughtfully and thinking about how they might affect the younger generation. Stoicism tells us to speak honestly and clearly, and to avoid words that might put others down. By doing this, we help create a place where everyone can talk openly and respectfully. Stoicism also teaches us not to judge or criticize harshly, and to see the human side of everyone, including young people. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic leader, said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." This wise saying shows us that respect often starts with choosing words that lift others up, inspire them, and encourage them to grow. The Stoic value of justice asks us to be fair and equal in how we talk to others. When we talk to the younger generation, showing that we understand their point of view and that their experiences matter, helps build respect. By seeing the value in what they bring to the conversation, we make a place where everyone can understand each other better. The Stoic habit of mindfulness, or being aware of our thoughts and actions, is especially important when we communicate. By paying attention to how we talk to the younger generation, we can notice if we're being disrespectful or making assumptions, and correct ourselves right away. Mindful communication fits with Stoic beliefs and helps create peace and understanding. Lesson 7. Value personal boundaries teaching. Respect to the next generation is like putting together a puzzle, and Stoicism shows us how important it is to understand and respect personal boundaries. Stoicism is a way of thinking that focuses on self-awareness and respect for others. It helps us understand that boundaries are important because they show respect for each person's individuality. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control, which goes hand in hand with the idea of personal boundaries. A famous Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, once said, "We can't choose what happens to us, but we can choose how we react." This means we should respect other people's rights to set their own boundaries. To respect personal boundaries, we need to be aware of ourselves. Stoicism encourages us to think about our actions and how they might affect others. By paying attention to how we interact with others, we can create a respectful environment where people feel safe to express their needs and boundaries. Stoicism also teaches us about temperance, which means moderation and self-control. This idea is important when it comes to respecting personal boundaries. We need to be careful with our actions and words, so we don't overstep someone else's boundaries. By doing this, we show that we understand the balance between being close to others and respecting their personal space. Stoicism teaches us to be humble in our relationships and to understand that everyone has different needs and preferences. When we respect personal boundaries, we show that we are committed to treating others with respect and making sure our interactions are comfortable for everyone. The Stoic idea of justice, which is about fairness and equality, helps us respect others' rights in our relationships. Talking clearly is very important when it comes to respecting personal boundaries. The Stoic way of thinking tells us that it's important to tell others what we need and want, but also to listen to what they need and want. By talking openly and respectfully, we help create a place where everyone understands each other and agrees on how to behave. This helps us build strong and respectful relationships. Lesson 8. Build awareness. In our journey to teach respect to the next generation, Stoicism shows us how powerful it can be to understand ourselves and others better. Stoicism is a way of thinking that encourages us to be mindful and reflective. This helps us go beyond just surface-level interactions and build deeper connections and respect between generations. Stoicism teaches us to look inside ourselves to understand our thoughts, feelings, and reactions better. By doing this, we can understand our own biases and preconceptions better, which helps us interact with the next generation in a more respectful way. Stoicism also encourages us to seek wisdom about ourselves and the world around us. By reflecting on ourselves, we can understand the beliefs and assumptions that shape our views. This helps us interact with different generations with a better understanding of our own values and potential biases. Wisdom helps guide us towards more respectful and nuanced connections. Knowing more about ourselves also means understanding the experiences and views of the younger generation. The philosophy of Stoicism teaches us to be open to the different stories that shape each person, knowing that everyone has a unique story to add to the shared story of humanity. By trying to see the world from the perspective of young people, we grow our understanding, and this helps us to be empathetic and respectful. Being aware in a mindful way is also important when dealing with the differences between generations. Stoicism, which values rational thinking, encourages us to face these differences with an open and curious mind. By understanding the unique problems and opportunities the younger generation faces, we help create a culture of understanding and respect. Lesson 9. Stand against bullying and discrimination. Stoicism asks us to fight against bullying and unfair treatment. It believes in fairness and the value of every person. It wants us to make a world where everyone respects each other, and there's no place for bullying or unfair treatment. Stoicism tells us to be fair and equal in how we treat others. Standing up against bullying and unfair treatment is a way to show this. It means we understand that everyone, no matter their age or background, should be treated with respect. Seneca, a famous Stoic thinker, said, "All bad behavior comes from weakness." When we stand up against bad behavior, we're not only protecting those who can't protect themselves, but also making a respectful society stronger. Bullying and unfair treatment can show up in many ways, like ageism, prejudice, and exclusion. Stoicism teaches us to see beyond what's on the surface. This helps us make a world where the next generation is valued for who they are as individuals, not treated unfairly because of stereotypes or biases. Stoicism teaches us to care about others and understand that we're all connected. By feeling for those who are hurt by bullying and unfair treatment, we build a sense of shared understanding. This understanding helps us work together to stop these bad behaviors and make a world where everyone respects each other. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic leader, talked about the idea of cosmopolitanism, which means we're all citizens of the same world. Fighting against bullying and unfair treatment is part of this Stoic idea. It encourages a worldview that appreciates the different things people from different generations bring to the table. By making a welcoming and respectful environment, we help build a society where everyone can do well. Standing up against bullying and unfair treatment is not just about personal commitment. It's also about working together to make big changes. The Stoic value of bravery is very important in this work. It pushes us to face unfairness and make a world where the next generation can grow without fear of being treated badly or unfairly. Lesson 10. Practice digital etiquette. As the way we communicate keeps changing, Stoicism reminds us to be polite online to help the younger generation learn respect. Stoicism, a way of thinking that values good character and careful communication, helps us use the internet in a mindful way. This makes sure that the way we talk to each other online helps make a world where everyone respects each other. The digital age has brought new challenges and chances for talking to each other, so it's important to use Stoic ideas when we're online. The Stoic value of wisdom is especially important, pushing us to be careful and thoughtful when we talk to others online. By thinking about how our words and actions might affect others online, we help make a world where respect is valued. Stoicism teaches us to be balanced in how we act online. We should avoid doing too much or too little, which can lead to a lack of respect. By being thoughtful and measured in how we interact online, we show the Stoic values of self-control and rational thinking.